where we're all about growing in grace. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. We want to deal with branding. We want to deal with entrepreneurship. We want to deal with being, and I have an absolute awesome guest to help us with this discussion. A brief summary of his professional background, life's ventures. He is degreed in computer network systems. He loves information technology. It is a part of him. He is the founder of Davis Investment Group LLC, which is a group of companies in different industries. Unlimited Auto Group LLC, Just Networking LLC, Just Real Estate LLC, Addicted to Results LLC, and also he's the founder and executive director for a nonprofit called I Give Back. Somebody needed to hear that. Come on, somebody, and give back. Music and traveling is something that he does all the time. And when I tell you he done put some miles on some planes, I want you to know he loves to travel. He's mainly focused on I Give Back and finding partnerships and corporate donations to carry out their mission. Please help me welcome Jay Davis to Grace Talks. Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening, sir. I'm gonna slide to my Cash App for that intro.
I
Need your Cash App. Thank you, sir. No, it's an honor to be here, and thank you a lot for the invitation. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about it, man. Let's get into it.
Thank you for taking the time, sir. What has been going on? I haven't seen you for a couple of couplers. What is happening?
You know me, ripping and running up and down the road, planes and stuff. Building businesses, trying to build the empire.
However you get there.
Being.
Yes. So, yes. You're busy being. Okay. So you Okay, so you dropped it out there. So let's do what we do, sir. How do we get to the point of being or becoming? Some people are stationary. Some people are in fear. Some people are they told me that there are people who talk about what's happening. There are people who sit by and watch what happens. And then there are the people who make things happen. I believe that's the ones that are being or becoming. Can you dive into that for a moment, sir?
I agree with everything you said. And I think the difference between those people, the latter one, the one that's being, the one that's doing, they realize that they already are, right? So everything you need is already inside you. You have everything you need, all your dreams, everything you want to manifest, everything you see, you have everything you need. And when you realize that, you'll start to be it. You'll start to walk in it. And that's becoming is a process. It's funny. Becoming is a process, but being you already are.
Oh boy.
You're a human.
Oh boy.
Right. So I think that's the biggest difference. It's a mindset, dude. It's a mindset. You just have to know that you already are, and you walk into what you already are. And in that process of becoming, you will become a being. That's how I look at that.
That was a great way to look at it. So let me ask you this. So there's a lot you're doing now. Has it always been like that you saw the being you were? Can you take us back a little bit on the journey, if you will, of how it takes from whether it's humble beginnings or learning or educate or whatever? Did you endure? Did you see something at a young age? Did you operate in something, conceive something to get you to on this path and this journey?
I'll say this. I felt it before I saw it. Right. So I was always different. I always felt different. I always moved different.
Mm-hmm.
I was not a follower. I was always a leader. I remember even like getting notes from my first grade teachers. I think my mom still has some of that stuff. Like, Jamel is a leader. Like, If he does something, the whole class is going to follow him and do it too. So I was always like that, right? So I felt it before I started to see it.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I started connecting the dots. Like what inspired me for entrepreneurship, I would say would probably be music. That's where it started at. I started playing
Okay.
music at a very young age. So 7th or 8th grade, I started playing for my local church. I was on staff. They paid me. So I have, 7th, 8th grade, I'm making money. Right. I didn't connect the dots then, but then as I got older, like high school age, all my friends were getting jobs at, like the McDonald's and Burger Kings and Snowball Stands and Skate Country and, all these places. And
Right.
I was already making money just playing music. So that's almost like being an independent contractor. Like I made my own schedule. I had freedom to move and make as much money as I wanted to. I played for whoever I wanted to, set my own schedule. So I think that's when I started connecting the dots, like
Hmm.
around high school, on the whole business entrepreneurship different journey started there.
So when did Jamel start walking into the place of entrepreneurship? Did you go to school for business, or can you talk about that?
And I didn't like I think I started walking into it when I started connecting the dots with music, right? So the switch for me, and I remember when this happened, the switch for me was the churches or people I were playing for. I told them not to write the checks to me, to write them to my business. So I think that's when the light bulb went off. So you're talking high school, right? Was my first business.
Wow.
Yeah. So I hit the entrepreneur before it came fashionable.
Right, right, right.
So I've been in it for a minute. So that's when it started for me. And from there, I had a friend of mine that was in real estate. Best friend of mine. We always had conversations together, and he's a contractor. He was building houses and things like that. So then I took that same business mindset I had in music and said, okay, we can apply this in real estate as well. And then it just transferring from there, right? Business concepts are business concepts. So no, I don't come from a family business. I didn't take any business courses in college, even though I went. Uh, Most of my business is just it's experience. It's learning, reading and researching, and kind of learning hands on. You know.
So as you were learning, can you tell us about the obstacles or any obstacles that you actually faced, either between you operating independently or when you started the real estate or any other things, other ventures at that time?
Um, I could think of two. I could think of two obstacles. Number one, managing people in partnerships, right? So I had a few businesses. I was in partnership with other people.
Hmm.
And so when you're in partnership with other people, and I learned this the hard way, right? In business, their personal lives also play a part in the business. Like when you sit at the round table, you sit around the round table with everything,
Right.
not just the business. You sit around the table with the personal side of them too. And some of that stuff starts to bleed into business. Missions and visions get, not aligned, and you get
Hmm.
not aligned with people. I think that was one of my biggest obstacles, just navigating those relationships and partnerships. Uh, the second one I think is real to every business, just finding the capital you need to fund your idea.
Yes.
I think every business has that obstacle. Especially when you don't come from a family of business. There's no rich uncle out there. Mom and them ain't got no money, cousin them ain't got no money, and so you have to figure this thing out. How do I fund what's in my head? Where do I get the money from to do this, right? And so how I overcame that, what I learned is your business can only be as strong as you are personally. A lot of people don't teach that. They say, "Oh, you can build business credit and you can do this with your business," but they don't tell you, especially when you first getting started,
Hmm.
that your business is only as strong as you are personally, because you're gonna have to personal guarantee your vision.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to dotted line personally before you get a business loan, or even if you get a business loan, you're gonna have to sign for that personally. So your personal situation, your personal credit, your personal finances, your personal situation, you personally need to be strong. I'm
Right.
not saying wait for that to start your business, right? But what I am saying is uh, you have a better chance of being more successful in your business if you are personally strong. Right. So
Understood. Good advice. You throwing nuggets early. I haven't even got to the tough question. You know, Barbara Walters taught me how to do this.
okay. You got the
So
tough ones coming later.
we gonna reach for the tears.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna try for the tears. Um, Vision. So you decided that you wanted to do this thing. Yeah, there are independent contracts you work, there are projects you work as Jamel, but then there are other things you venture out on. So talk to us about the importance of clear vision and what strategies or tips you could provide on building and having a clear vision for entrepreneurship.
Um, that's a really good question. I'm a church boy, right? So the first thing that comes to mind: write the vision, make it plain, so those that read it can run with it. That's just me. I grew up there, right? And I believe that. I stand on
Uh-huh.
it. Write the vision, make it plain, so those that read it can run. The first person that needs to read that vision and run with it is you,
Mine.
because you can't expect other, like, if God gave this to you, this business, this idea, it's in your spirit. It's going to be hard for other people to see it or believe in it if you don't do it first. Uh, so it's important. There's two parts, two answers, I believe, to that question. Write the vision, make it plain, so you can run with it. Others can run with it as well. And what the mission and the vision actually gives you is direction, right? So I'm gonna drop this on you. Misdirection is also a direction. So without mission or clear vision, you can be running in the wrong direction or running in place, not going anywhere. So that's what clear vision and clear mission, that's what it does for me. It gives you direction, and it gives you a baseline, right? You have a baseline of what's for you, what to do, and watch this, more importantly, what not to do. Because
Wow.
the more successful you become, and like your business, people start to see your vision, and your business starts to come to life, there's going to be some opportunities that come your way. There's going to be some people trying to attach themselves to you, and all things are not good for you and for your business. So if you don't have the clear vision and mission in place, it's going to be hard to discern what's for you and what's not. Right.
I've seen that. I want to footnote and let those listeners that are listening know there are times that you pull people in or people ask or strive to connect to you, and sometimes they're there for a season.
Facts. Facts. Yeah.
I don't
Facts.
want I'm not gonna
Facts.
interrupt you. I'm gonna let you flow.
No, no, no. You're totally right, and you have to, like, say that mission and that vision will help you discern who's here for a lifetime and who's here for a season. Everybody that starts with you in chapter one may not be there in chapter two, and you have to be okay with that, right? You have to be okay with that.
So you
It's a
going
part of the.
so you going back to the mindset already, sir. You go
Did I go back there? Did I go back there? Yeah, yeah, yes, sir. I love this, man. I love that. We can talk this all day. This right up my alley here. Yeah.
so when you have the obstacles, when you have the distractions, when you have the detours, what does Jamel or Jay Davis do to stay motivated and focused on the goals as an entrepreneur when those things arrive?
I'm a for the most part, I'm really self-motivated.
Okay.
But those circumstances do come sometimes, right? And when they do, what I do is I glean insight from people that have already gone through the process. So what I mean by that is I'll hit a YouTube video and watch somebody that is where I'm trying to go.
Great.
And I'll either pull up a interview or a movie or a clip, and I'll watch them tell their story. And so what that does for me is it shows me the other side of where I am currently. Yes, I feel like this. I'm not motivated to do this right now. I feel like giving up. I don't know if this is gonna work. But then I'll watch someone else
Yeah.
who is where I'm trying to get,
Yeah.
and something will click and say, you know what, this is temporary. It won't always be like this. This is not gonna last. Just keep fighting. Wake up in the morning, take a breath, take a step back, revisit it, replan, do whatever you need to do. But this is temporary. So I get inspiration or motivation just from people who have already gone through what I'm currently going through.
That's good, sir.
Yeah.
That is really good. Um, do you have specific people that serve as mentors or role models for you currently?
Um, I have not in my inner circle, and it's crazy. I really don't. Uh, like everybody that I would consider a mentor or a role model, I don't know personally.
Okay. But that could still serve, they could still serve that position
Yeah,
even
and
though it's
I'll name some. I'm gonna keep you on the fence, right? I'll name some of the people that I watch, either over the years or even right now. People like Tyler Perry, right? I like what he's built and how he helps people and reaches back and grab people and put people in position to win and be successful, right? So I'll
mhm,
model
mhm, mhm.
after that. Kevin Hart, he does the same thing. Um, TD Jakes, a guy, love him. I got a lot of motivation from him.
Mhm.
Uh, uh, who else is there? Mr. Sean Puffy Combs,
All right.
right?
All right.
Of, of the empire that he's built,
Mhm.
or Jay-Z. Like so, uh, if you notice, all those people they have empires, right? So they don't
Yeah.
just do one thing. They're dimensional. They have their hands in a lot of things.
Mhm.
So you can kind of see where my mindset is and how
Yeah.
I'm setting up my business as well. So those would be some of the people that I would say would be far off mentors or role models that I kind of watch closely.
Great. Great. I appreciate you for sharing that. And I'm sure our audience will or have some of them have already followed them. And when we get back, that we dealt with the becoming and what it takes to become. When we get back, we'll discuss the being in a greater
Yes,
level.
sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Again, thank you so much, Jay, for being with us on Grace Talks. We are uh so humbled to be in your presence on this day.
I'm honored to be here, sir. It's an honor. It's an
You
honor.
know, that you could carve out a little time. But before we get on with being an entrepreneur, I gotta ask you. I've been wanting to ask you this question for years. Addicted to results. Can you please break down how that name came to be?
Here's the crazy part. I was working late one night in the office, like I always do. Uh, and I was at it. I was at it for like real hard for a long time, just grinding, grinding, grinding. And I just happened to hashtag it one night. Uh, Hashtagged it, and then it just kept ringing in my spirit, kept like ringing in my spirit. And I was doing another business at the time. Uh, and actually, a guy that works with me with addicted to results, I ran it past him. Like,
Mm-hmm.
say, man, I'm thinking about putting this on a T-shirt. That's where it started. I'm thinking about putting this on a T-shirt. And he was like, "Yeah, you need to do that. Like, you have something there." I didn't do it. 1 month passed. I can be honest. I didn't do it. I procrastinated on it. I was like, you know what? I'm not. I have enough businesses. I don't need another one. I'm tired already. I'm not. I'm not doing that. But it wouldn't leave me alone, dude. It wouldn't leave me alone. And so I started doing some research, uh, and I even looked on Instagram and other people. I wasn't the first person who hashtagged it, so I'm not going to take that credit because I know somebody going to fact check me, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people have hashtagged it and said it, but my business mind turned on, and I turned it into a brand, right? I turned it
Okay.
into a business.
Okay.
So that's actually how it came about. It started as a hashtag for me, just from working hard and grinding. Ran it past a partner and friend. He loved the idea, and I slept on it for 2-3 months, and then started the brand, and it took off, man. Started putting out shirts and hats and beanies and anything I could put the name on, and the people fell in love with it, and still falling in love with it, present day. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's the story behind how that came about.
You mentioned in that discourse, you mentioned running it past someone or a business partner. I have to ask, how important is it in being an entrepreneur? How important is it to have uh relationships and network in this process? Or is it important?
It is definitely important. Definitely important. Your first business as an entrepreneur is the business of people, right? You can't do business without people. You need customers, you need clients, you need partners, you need confidants, you need friends, crazy friends, same friends to run ideas past. You need
Don't forget
family, and all
haters.
you have to have those. You have to have those. And so you like all of those, like, they're people, right? So you
Mhm.
can't do business without having relationships, without maintaining relationships. And I think of relationships like different circles, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I have like business relationships. I have friends, people I can hang out with, but they're not necessarily good to build business with.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it's important to know the difference, right? There's family, and we cool at the reunion, but then I got to go because I have work to do, and you can't really be a part of this because we don't have the same mindset. I love you as family because we could hug it up, but I
Mm,
need you to hit the online store and purchase like a regular customer because we don't rock
mm,
like that.
mm.
Yeah. And
So,
so go ahead.
so not only is it important to have networking and build relationships, but it's important to put these relationships in perspective. Oh, that was good.
Yes. Yeah, they have to be in different categories because you have to know who's who, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
but I think we talked about that earlier about like who's seasonal, who's not. Like all of those are managing relationships. Like who's here just for when the cameras come on, who's here for the lights, because you have some people like that. Like, and you have to like they're healthy too. Like you need them too.
Yeah.
When the lights come on, I know this person gonna be here. They're gonna rock with me when the cameras come on. It's event time. Let's go. But when the lights go off and we have to like work till midnight, I can't really count on that person.
Mm,
So knowing, not only having relationships, but knowing the value of each relationship and how to manage it is very important, and to the success of your business for sure.
definitely. There's a chance that um I've heard this from other entrepreneurs as well. There is a degree of risk that is involved, as well as a time, season, opportunity of uncertainty. People have, I appreciate you for being real and transparent. People have to understand that if you're going to do business, you have to take risk. Am I
You're in a room, sir. You're in a room. Yeah. Just the mere notion of starting a business is a risk, right? Because you have something in your head, it's an idea. You don't know whether it's going to work or not. You don't know whether people are going to gravitate to it or not. You know what I mean? Starting addicted to results. I don't know if somebody's going to buy a t-shirt or not, buy a hat or not. So just like the stand-up costs to stand up that business before a sale even comes is a risk.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Right. So there's this saying I like: big risk, big reward, little risk, little reward. It goes for business too, but us as entrepreneurs, we just have to learn how to manage those risks,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so I actually have a process that I use, that I do, right? I'll give you a little insight into my mindset. Uh, it's called foresight, and I believe foresight is a gift, number one, but I also think that gift, it can be developed. And with foresight, what I do is I actually, before I make any decision, I'm weighing pros and cons to that decision,
Okay.
right? I'm strategically playing out scenarios in my mind, right? So if I make this decision, if I make this risk, what's the ROI on that? What's the return on this investment?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I understand what the return on investment is, but at the same time, it's a possibility I might lose this, fracture this, lose this friendship, gain this in the process of getting to that ROI. So is it worth it? I always ask myself that. Is it worth is this decision, is it worth the risk? It's risk management, right? Is
Mm-hmm.
the reward worth me taking this risk? I do that with every decision. And the foresight part is just playing out scenarios. Okay, I believe if I do this, and these are all assumptions, right? We can't see
Right,
into
right,
the
right,
future,
right.
but
Definitely.
you can play different scenarios in your head. You know, if I make this decision, okay, this person gonna get mad. They're not gonna like it, but okay, they're not important. And then I may lose this. Okay, it's gonna cost me this financially, or okay, I may have to move here and stay there for 2 months. Is my return worth me taking those risks? And
That's
I do every decision like that.
that's good. No, no, that's good. I could sit here all night with you on that one.
Yeah, yeah, for real. Like, yeah, we can run scenarios all night. Yeah, yes, sir.
I've done that with people who involve me in decision making. So can you tell me your why? What are you trying to do?
Correct.
Um, how soon are you trying to do this? Where are you going to do this at?
Yep,
When are
you
you
have to
doing
ask all.
this? Who's
Yes,
going to
yes,
be
sir.
involved again? And
Yep.
how long have you known them? Why you chose them? Why this?
Yes, sir.
But see,
You own it.
okay, sidebar. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Come on.
I got to do this. So I saw a sermon title the other day. Oh no, or maybe it was earlier today. Uh, why did you choose a devil?
Mm,
Talking about Judas.
okay.
Uh-huh.
Ooh.
Uh-huh. See, I saw the wheels turn right in that moment. I saw the wheels turn. I saw it. Why did you choose a devil? See, that goes back to the analysis that you just dealt with, though. There's a reason
Hmm.
you're choosing to do this.
There is. Yeah.
You're looking at the ROI, or you need something for balance.
Judas is necessary. Judas is necessary
I'm
because it
put
all works together.
I'm putting
It
that
all
one on
works
the
together.
t-shirt. I'm taking that one for the t-shirt. Judas is necessary.
And I'm gonna buy it. Tell me when you release it. I'm gonna be your first customer. Judas is necessary. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That could have been a sermon title. Judas is necessary.
turn in your Bible.
Oh my God.
So, have you had, Jay, and all these businesses, have you had what you would consider a successful pivot in business, where you really were headed somewhere? You were being you may have even been successful in the direction that you were going, but something in the vision said, "Well, I
That's
think
good.
I'm gonna go this." Can you help us with that? Because I think, again, it could be fear, it could be doubt, it could be you walk and you still work in risk and uncertainty. But what would cause, and then what are you feeling in the midst of the shift?
That's a great question. You're feeling confused. You're feeling confusion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and to answer your question, yes, I had to pivot, and I had to pivot when I was actually being successful, which is the hardest time to pivot. Usually, when you pivot, you're pivoting it away from something, right?
Yes.
That's not either not working or it's just not working out. But to be able to pivot from something that's working is a whole nother level. So you're dealing with confusion, not understanding, uh, doubt for sure, fear. You mean I have to start all over again for real? Like I just built this thing. It's working, but this little piece of it is not working, and I have to pivot away from all of that. Uh, so in the moment, it does not feel for me. Let me say, in my circumstance, when I did have to pivot like that, it did not feel like success. It did not. Uh, it only felt like success years later when I saw my pivot worked and what I pivoted from did not work. So
Mm-hmm.
what I was feeling, the reason why I pivoted, manifested itself. Uh, but yeah, I dealt with all of that. Man. I dealt with the confusion. I dealt with the fear. I dealt with the with the doubt, self doubt, and the insecurities. Like, you mean I'm gonna have to traverse this road again? Number one, again, and number two, alone, because I pivoted away from a partnership. In fact, it's just be a little bit more transparent, right? Uh, so business is working, it's successful. We have momentum in the community, and like I've done the logo, I've done the website, I've done the email address, and the virtual offices, and toll free phone numbers and mailing lists and websites and domain names and business
Yeah.
cards, postcards,
Yes.
flyers and trademarks. And you mean I got to do all that again? But sometimes it's necessary, like Judas. It's all necessary, and yes, it's gonna be uncomfortable. It's not gonna feel good, but it's necessary, dude. So yes, I've been in that situation. I really have, but it worked out for me. It worked out for
I think that's a good place to see La.
me. Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. I think that's a good place for us to take a break. We'll be right back after this. Think about it.
My.
I apologize, audience. But Jay Davis is over here. He done went to church on us. He over here rocking like he in a Baptist church. I think he might even grew up in a.
I did. I did. Yeah. I was there. Sunday school, 11 o'clock service. First Sunday communion, 6 o'clock. I was there. Vacation Bible school. I was there. That was me.
Y'all
Mhm.
pray for him. I want to know, there has to exist a balance. The problem where stress, anxiety, sickness, depression uh, comes about is because of the lack of balance. Can you discuss in your ventures how you have chosen to balance work and life and make it strategic or work for you?
This is a recent one for me. Recently learning this one, like in the last 2 3 years. If you would have asked me this question 2 years ago, I would have said work life who balance. What is that? Because I was
Okay.
all work, all
Okay.
work, no play, no balance, like none. Uh, like I said, I learned the hard way. I'm different now, and so that's what most of my travel is about. When you see me hop on the plane, it's me changing my environment to try and break that work mode. Now, the way my mind works, I'm always in work mode because my mind is constantly business. So even if I try to go do the social thing and just maybe go post up at a bar, you know what I mean, and grab a drink, grab an appetizer, whatever, uh, I'm wearing my own clothes, right? So I'm gonna end up in a conversation about what is addicted to results. So I'm still working.
Yes.
At least it's in a more relaxed environment. So for me, it's a change. I do it with a change of environment. I try to do it. I strategically try to balance with a change of environment.
Okay.
So I'll go catch a flight somewhere, Atlanta, Las Vegas, LA, New York, whatever, out the country, Colombia, wherever, catch a beach
Hmm.
and and try to balance out like that. Uh,
I've heard.
it's yeah, I mean it's very important to have it because
Mhm.
you'll burn yourself out like I did. I was just I can't go no more. I'm done. I'm tired. Like so you definitely have to have those rest moments, rejuvenate yourself, rejuvenate your mind, rest your mind. Like rest is so important. Uh, it's so yeah, it's definitely needed. A work life balance for sure.
I get that. I get that. Um, so in the process of being an entrepreneur, of course, we know we can't operate any area of life without finances. Is there a level of planning or management that goes into a small business? Because a lot of times, like you said earlier, a lot of times you're funding it yourself or you're sacrificing your name for that process. So how do you
So,
develop or first of all, the importance, but how do you develop into that financial management and planning?
um, definitely important. No matter what industry you're in, right? You'll have I guess you could call them peak seasons or highs and lows, right? There's mountaintops and valleys.
Yes, sir.
I'll give you a prime example, like my car dealership, Unlimited Auto Group. So January, February, March tax season, right? Everybody's taking their tax returns, buying cars. So we first of the year, we popping, like we're selling cars, customers in and out around let's see, January, February, March, say April, May, June starts to slow down a little bit. July slow down, August, September we get like a little lift there because we're in the community of college students. So we have the college students that's going back to school, get refund checks. So
Okay.
we have that
Okay.
customer base. And then it'll die back down at the end of the year because everybody's just waiting on the next year for tax season. Right.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so January, February, March, I'm on a mountaintop from a car dealership perspective. Then the next 3 months, I'm in the valley, I may get one customer. And so it's important to be able to manage those finances in your high seasons so you can sustain yourself in your low season, right? Uh, so it's definitely important. But I think to answer the second part of your question, how do you develop that? That's just about knowing your industry. Like you have to know your business. You need to know, when it's peak season and when it's not.
Right.
When
Right.
most of my customers come inside my doors or come into my business, and when does it slow down for me? So you'll be able to manage finances correctly. It's okay. Maybe I can't invest in this new piece of equipment this month because I may only get two customers in the next 2 months. I
Yeah.
may need to wait tax season to invest that money when I have
Yeah.
a little bit of an overflow. So it's about knowing your business. Yeah.
You said something very key. knowing your business. So with knowing, that means you have to be, first of all, in tune or getting knowledge, and then relevant. So how do you, Jay Davis, Jamel, all of the businesses LLC,
Mhm.
how do you stay relevant? How do you keep up? How do you adapt to the changes? What is it that you've been practicing or doing that if something is changing, you're like, oh, and then boom, you
We live in such a fast paced world, especially with social media age. Like things change rapidly, uh, and I'm not so quick to make the change in my business just because the market changed. So I'm a dig a little bit deeper before I make start making business changes
mhm,
based on market changes. So I pay attention to them. So how do I do that? I'm reading, I'm researching, I'm asking questions. Uh, Reading and research is top two. uh, but just because the market changed doesn't mean I necessarily need to change. And we had a conversation earlier about clear vision and
yes,
mission.
yes,
So I'm a track and check that change against my vision and my core values for my business. I understand what the market is saying and what the market is doing and what other people are doing in the market, but does that work for me and my business and where I'm trying to go? Just because it works for everybody else doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for me, right? So I pay attention to the market changes and I adapt where I need to, but I'm not quick to do that. I'm not quick to do that.
wow, that was good. That was good, sir. I have to
Yeah.
take a break, and when I come back, we want to dive into the branding process.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back after
Do that.
this. Here with Jay Davis discussing branding and marketing, and I'm just fascinated with the information that he's sharing with us. Um, Can you tell us about the role of branding? Because a lot of people will choose to start a business, they will choose to sell product, but they may not always brand or may not know how to brand and be effective. Can you talk about the role of branding in a successful business?
Yeah, branding definitely is one of the number one things that I put a lot of attention to. Uh, so people need to know who you are, what you do, and why you do it. And the only way to get that message and that story out there is to brand yourself, to put it out there
Okay.
in whatever creative form that is, right? Or whether it's content on social media or whether it's postcards or flyers in the mail, whatever that is, a website, uh, phone calls, door to door knocking, what I mean, whatever that is.
Yeah.
Uh, People need to know who you are and what you do and why you do it.
Okay.
Uh, yeah.
How did you come up with the name and the logo for your brand or different brands?
Right. Let's see which one. Actually, my favorite logo is actually one that I don't even brand right now, and that's strategic, but it's for my parent company, Davis Investment Group.
Okay.
It's my favorite logo out of all the companies I have. So Davis Investment Group. If you take the first three letters,
I'm there.
you're already there.
I'm
It's
there.
it's You're already there. For the people in the back, let me explain. It's dig, dig. If you look up the definition of dig, it's to move or move earth with a machine or tool or your hands, right? And so it's so the logo. Let me. I don't. Let me see if I can find a picture real quick on my phone. The logo is a character with a shovel in his hand, starting to dig into a pile of dirt. That logo means so much to me, and I put so much thought behind it because of that reason. Like every business that I'm associated with, I'm trying to find the pictures. I'm sorry, I'm not looking at the camera, but that's where it started at, right? It started out the mud. And we talked about it earlier. Like, I don't come from a family of business. I didn't go to business school. I didn't take business 101. And so like I went and got it literally out the mud, from the dirt, from the foundation is where I started to build all my businesses. So that's how I came up with that logo. Matter of fact, this I don't know if this is gonna work or not. Let me see. That's the
My God. My God.
so dig
My,
Davis Investment.
my God.
Uh,
That's powerful,
yeah,
man.
yeah, that's my favorite. That's my favorite logo out of all the ones I have for sure. Yeah.
I'm supposed to be pulling the tears, not you. Um, so in order, I guess, to dig, my God, and uh, wow, I knew it was gonna happen, Lord. I knew it. I knew it. I felt it from some time. I knew you was gonna come on. He's in the room. Okay.
That's what he does.
If you're going to dig and make a hole in a certain spot, you have to consistently hit the same spot to pull the
Yes, sir.
dirt. Am I
Yeah,
is that
you
right?
definitely, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
It's
So
like,
so I need to know, and our fans need to know about the importance of that consistency in the business branding. Oh well, I'm gonna call the company one thing on Instagram, and then I'm gonna call the company something else on the website, and then I'm gonna call it something else on Facebook. How,
you're all over the place, and you're digging, but you're not digging consistently. You're not digging, like you said, in the same spot. When they drill for oil and dig for oil or dig for gold, they going down the same spot over and over and over and over until they hit their target. Right. Same thing with building a business. And so I had this is interesting. I had this conversation with a guy that was on my team, matter of fact, for Addicted to Results. He wasn't running. I had somebody else running the social media, but of course he would watch it. So he had an issue with um he felt like we kept repeating our content. Man, those pictures old. We don't need to post that no more. I said, those pictures are old to you, but they're new to somebody else. Just because you're tired of seeing them doesn't mean the next person they've never seen them before.
yes, sir.
Right. So like a lot of content, sometimes even on social media, we don't delete it, we'll archive it. And then it may be a year later and I'll bring it back. And
Wow.
so we did an experiment. Matter of fact, the guy that runs my social media, we were in New York maybe 2 or 3 years ago with Addicted to Results. We did a fashion week in New York. He brought those pictures back. People thought we were in New York in that present moment because over the course of a year or two, right, we've gained new followers, we gained new people. They didn't see us in chapter 1. They just hopped on the bandwagon in chapter 3. And so I could bring pictures and content consistently from chapter 1 back to chapter 3, and it's new to those people.
That's good.
Same picture, same content, same social media platform, consistency.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, consistency is very important. Hitting the same spot over and over, consistently, and not getting distracted by, like, if you don't get likes, nobody's sharing your content, uh, uh, you know, nobody's commenting, does not matter. They see it. They trust me. They see it. Even if they don't hit that little, they see it. That's all you want, because you want to start to get that inside their brain, like seeing a McDonald's Big Mac commercial, right? On Super Bowl Sunday, like they're gonna play that thing over and over. They don't care how many times they play it.
Yeah.
They're gonna be consistent with it, right? So we as small businesses and entrepreneurs, we need to have that same mindset. Uh, Stay consistent with everything you do. it is beautiful to have all your social media platforms, like you mentioned, the same name.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
like I strategically try my best to do that with all
Yeah,
my business.
that's a struggle sometimes because some things are taken, and I'm pretty sure at times that's another investment to create that consistency in the brand. You got to spend more money because something may be taken already.
You know what I do now though, because of my experience, I actually run through all of that before I even start the business.
Understood.
That's in my before check. Like before I go get the name from Secretary of State, I'm checking social media names. Like I'm locking all of that up before I even do the paperwork for the business,
Okay.
because that's how important that is to me. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
That's great. That's great. Thank you for that tip.
Little nugget, little nugget. Yes, sir.
Thank you for that tip. No, 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 no. I really appreciate it because I'm getting ready to do off the strength of your testimony. I'm getting ready to do some rebranding. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a good tip. That's a good tip.
Like it
Um,
before.
we just dealt with the social media, but I'm assuming that your customers do engage with you outside of just sales and feedback. They give you feedback and you do process that in your companies, right?
For sure. For sure. Um, I think I missed the question. Are we talking about feedback from?
Yes, I was talking about the importance of engagement and feedback from customers.
Yeah. Uh, we get and I use the technical tools too as well, right? So I'm looking at insights, I'm looking at engagements, I'm looking at Google Analytics from a website perspective. Like, we
Yes,
monitor
sir.
all those uh for customer engagement, but like you said, people will hop in the DM, they'll send messages. But for me, what's the most gratifying, like when a stranger walks up to me in the airport. This actually just happened to me. I was on a plane, getting on a plane in Miami coming to New Orleans.
Hmm.
I have no idea who this guy was. And I walked on a plane. He was sitting in first class in the first row. By the time I had made it to the second row, I heard my name being called. Jamal. I know I don't know nobody in, like, I'm not,
Wait,
you know, I,
Jay. Wait,
I
Jay.
move I move secretly. Like, you know what I mean? I'm not
Wait,
supposed to
Jay.
know.
Before you finish, so you're saying
I'm not supposed to know nobody. Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
know
yeah.
ain't my
I
family,
know.
ain't my friends ain't on this flight.
Not this. No. And so he hollered my name, dude, and I turned around and said, "Hey, hey, what's up, man?" He's like, man, I follow you on Facebook. Like, you got that brand ATR, and like you be in Brazil and all." I said, "Yeah, that's me, man." So I shook his hand, "Nice to meet you," blah blah blah. But that's the most gratifying, um, more than looking at insights. Like when you get that kind of feedback, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I can see that.
That, like, "Hey man, dude, like I just had your hoodie on yesterday, like when I was at my son's football game." Or, "He had it on yesterday, man. You don't know like what your message is doing for my son." Like
Yes.
that kind of feedback, dude, is that kind of stuff. When nuggets like that drop on you, it gives you uh that little oomph to keep going.
Keep
Like,
going.
okay, this is for a reason. Like I'm doing this not just for me. It's not just for sales. I'm in a people business, right? And people, I'm helping people, motivating people,
Yeah.
and my brand and what I have to offer the world is helping somebody else. Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I had another thought, but
That
I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna say it. So
okay.
just a little encouragement, right? Because this is how I looked at even that moment. Your business and your idea, what you're trying to do, is a solution for somebody. Somebody's waiting for it, right?
Hmm.
And as long as you sit on it and not do it, somebody's in pain. You are the aspirin for somebody's headache. How long
Hmm.
will you hurt? Right.
Hmm.
So So all the viewers, that's watching this podcast, if you have not started, just go ahead and please, you are the solution for somebody. And go operate in your greatness and get it done, man. Start the business, get it done, man, get it done. I had to
Man,
drop that. I felt that right there.
I appreciate. No. Thank you.
Sir.
Guys, this has been absolutely amazing. I want to say bananas because it's so powerful in here. Grace Talks, that's what we're about, informing and inspiring. And then we want to leave an impact as we do what we do, and make sure that people grow in grace, unmerited favor, the ability to do that which you have been called to do and do it well. That's all Grace Talks is about. My new motto I've added to the company, into the brand of Grace Talks, is ordinary people doing extraordinary things.
Love it. Yes, sir. Love it. Yes, sir.
So we'll continue to do that, but we're going to take our last break for this day and this evening, this morning, whenever you're listening to it. And when we get back, y'all don't even understand. I'm overflowing over here. When we get back, Jay Davis, Jamel, the bishop, is going to give us our grace moment. He's going to give us whatever he has, his inspirational, his point of action, his whatever it is. He's going to give us our grace moment as we end this episode. We'll be right back after this. Well, as we come to the close of another episode, we have to extend our grace and thanks and blessings to Jay Davis for being such a great inspiration and motivator to us to get into purpose, to get into branding, get into our marketing, get into our entrepreneurship, and operate and know our what and know our why and know our people. It's a people business. Thank you so much, Jay. We really appreciate it tonight. How is it that if someone wants to follow you or someone wants to get in touch with you, contact you in any manner, how do they do that to get to any of your business ventures?
Yeah, for sure. My personal Instagram is at Mr. Addicted to Results. Is my personal Instagram, and then you can follow the brand as well at Addicted to Results brand. That's the same thing on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Twitter is at ATR brand. So that's how you find me. I'm addicted to results everywhere.
So no email, just focus in that manner, or do you have an email address as well?
Info at addictedtoresults.com. You can reach me or the team there.
Okay. So family, it is now time. We've been waiting, at least I have been waiting the whole episode for this moment. We call it the grace moment. It is the moment where inspiration happens, a thought of the day, a provoke to action happens, a poem, a scripture, a verse, a motto, a mantra happens to build us up and to push us into our place of purpose and destiny. So we usually put this in the hands of our special guest. So Jay Davis, again, I appreciate you, but at this moment, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. So I'll somebody hit me up on Facebook in the beginning of me branding addicted to results, and just asked me what it was, and so I'll read what I wrote them. Right. It says it's about the process, it's about the journey, it's about the sacrifice, it's about having the victory over a war that's still being fought. It's a mindset. It's a bold declaration that in the end, you will win. It's about the results, right? So I wrote that about addicted to results, but that's about everybody's story, everybody's journey, everybody's process. You can't circumvent process. We live in this age of the viral, Instagram and Facebook, and you can go to sleep broke, wake up rich, or go to sleep nobody knowing you, wake up, your post is viral, you're famous. You cannot circumvent process. So for all my entrepreneurs that are just getting started, get started. Stop sleeping on it. Stop procrastinating. Don't overthink it. Get started. Do it. For all my entrepreneurs that are in the middle, keep going. It sounds elementary, dude, but I remember being in moments where I needed to hear just those simple words. I needed to look at somebody that had not circumvented process, that had been through journey, that had been through struggles, that had been through pain, that had been through starting over, that had been through reinvesting. And I needed to see how the other side of that looked. It sounds simple. Keep going. Get started and keep going. Be consistent. Go through your process. Go through your story. Write your story as you go, and you'll be okay.
Well, I really don't think there's anything else to be said except for thank you again for joining us for this episode of Grace Talks. And until next time, continue to grow in grace. See you soon.
In life, we all ask the questions, why me? Why now? And why did this happen to me? But if we are honest with ourselves, as we keep living, we realize it had to happen. Why? Fate, purpose, destiny. In the long-anticipated release from G4 Life Publishing Company, author Terrence Williams takes us on a journey of some of life's lessons he has learned. On this journey, we find lessons which include makeover, it wasn't all her fault, legacy, and moving forward backwards. He encourages the reader to embrace the reality we all must face at some point in life, that whether you believe it or not, it had to happen.
If you have a question or would like us to discuss a specific topic, Grace Talks wants to hear from you. You can email us at gracetalks@graceforlife.com. That's grace_talks@grace-4-life.com.